So I'm here with Chris North, Dundas Street West, downtown Toronto, Canada's largest city. And Chris, tell me a little bit about your endeavors.
Yeah, currently I'm working on a few different entrepreneurial projects. I'm heavily involved in the soccer realm in the city. I have a few different leagues that I'm operating, the main one being Toronto Premier League, which I founded and started about 3 years ago myself. It's a local community-based amateur league for men and youth 17 and up. So far we have about 20 teams that we've grown, all multicultural teams, from Tibetans to teams from England, Scotland, teams from Somalia. We even have an official Toronto Police Services team that plays in our league, which is comprised of mostly all police officers. So it's a great outreach and program that everybody likes to come and organize every week, kind of like a religion where we all come together, meet up. And thanks to ever since starting that, I've gotten exposure to help myself develop a semi-pro league called Canadian Pro League Canada, actually. And I've been elected as vice president there. This will be our second year actually launching in Toronto, and that's looking forward to that project, and this being a big year coming up, especially post-pandemic with all the changes and freezing to everybody's businesses, especially sports, people getting active, people wanting to get back out, wanting to be involved in the community, wanting to be involved with their teammates and other people they exercise or play sports with. And on top of that, I also recently started a betting consulting company specialized for soccer betting, where over the last 20 years I've been analyzing and doing analytics, following all the top leagues in Europe and around the world. And that has helped me to create a model where I developed a newsletter system of sending out picks every day. So every day people will receive a list of picks, and from that list we generate a guaranteed percentage of how many will be correct. And as long as you follow the program and our guidelines, it equals people making money, at least 2 times their money every day, guaranteed. And we're planning on trying to grow that, make that bigger, turn it into something that we can expand and really use it as a tool to generate capital. And that seems to be right now my biggest focus and reward from the pandemic, actually, because not being able to run my leagues allowed me to be able to focus and really hone in on setting up the business aspect of using my skills and talent with soccer and analytics. And one of the highlight moments, I would say, in my life that really projected me and turned me onto this path was when I was about 21 years old, winning a competition for the Score Sports Network, where out of 5,000 people who entered, who had to do a similar thing to what I do with my business, is predicting winners and outcomes in this Premier League. And I was able to win first place grand prize, trip to go to Liverpool, Anfield. Always been one of my dreams to see a professional game in Europe, and I was able to fulfill that at 21 free of charge by using my skill and talent at analyzing and following soccer. So I would say my whole life pretty much was always around football. I put myself into a career path where only football, and football is what I try to do. I also completed my degree in Kinesiology at York University with a minor in geography, so I have the background in terms of being able to be involved in the sport, even on the athletic therapy side, on the teaching side. One of my previous passions was with teaching and coaching, so I'm able to also implement that. But overall, just organizing people, leagues, and having people come together under my guide and leadership is something that I even do throughout my community and my everyday life. I'm pretty much a pivotal member of my neighborhood. A lot of people depend on me. They always seek me out whenever they need advice, financial help, or guidance, whether it be looking for a job or dealing with recent problems they had in their personal life. So I feel that being a leader comes naturally to me, and is something that I look forward to and thrive on, and helps motivate me in life.
And so in terms of the future, like you're basically, you've built from what I can tell, the grassroots formula or foundation for these organizations, and they're built to grow and expand. Is that correct?
Exactly. Like essentially what I've done now in my 2 to 3 years of building my league is built a foundation of a league that is unlike any other. In fact, we're the only league in Toronto and in the GTA that offers 11 versus 11 indoor soccer, which is something that I feel will be pivotal to the success of Canada in the future. If we have our kids and our adults playing soccer year-round the way that it's meant to be with 11v11, I find we're hindering ourselves when we switch it to 7v7 and the indoor criteria of soccer. So by standing out in that way and also doing more things to make people feel that they're getting a more professional experience, even though we're an amateur league, such things like recording all the scores, the stats, giving prizes and awards for different statistical achievements, and in terms of recording the games, something we do as well that separates us from other leagues is we record the games of all the teams and provide them with highlights, and they're able to look back on that years from now if they want. So it adds another element for them to appreciate why, our league exists and why playing in our league is beneficial for themselves, and including young players who might want to use these videos for potential scouting opportunities, university opportunities. It's just something that other leagues don't provide that are on the amateur level. So far I've been the only one running this league so far, and now I'm in a position where I have people reaching out to me that would like to partner and help it grow. So I feel the foundations are there to be successful and become a top league in Toronto that a lot of people will only want to join, especially that fit into that niche category of, amateur / semi-pro. And in terms of my betting business, in the first 2 months of operating and doing a free trial, we set out with a goal of maintaining an average of 80% correct overall. And so far in the first 2 months of our operation, we've averaged above that. We're actually sitting around 90%. So that's a great achievement on its own right there, and helps us to now when we go to market and try to promote and start charging people in terms of getting revenue and getting paid for what we provide, we have more of a footing and more of a ground to stand on for what we provide, and justifying the cost for what people receive in return. I really feel it's something that nothing else like it exists. Maybe there's computer programs that do it, but I haven't been able to find anybody with the consistency of success in terms of predicting outcomes as much as I have had.
Okay, so it's a subscription-based model, is that correct?
Exactly.
And based on that subscription-based model, you, as what I've learned to call you, the soccer whisperer or football whisperer, you essentially analyze and put yourself on the line by being the one that makes these picks.
Yeah,
you have a 90% success
essentially
rate.
I am the product. I am the one that puts out the list. I'm the one who makes the list. I have a marketing company that basically assists with marketing me, having an assistant out in the Philippines that helps with all the administrative stuff, just to help the fluidity where I can just focus on strictly my list and making sure that list is as fine-tuned and meeting those expectations that everybody has. So luckily, after 20 years of analyzing and doing this, I feel that now I have the confidence where I can present it to the public and help them understand how using my formula can equal them making big bucks.
Okay, so what else makes you unique? Like, what is you've mentioned a couple of things, but in terms of the heart of it, I'm not asking for the secret or the secrets. I'm just wondering, what as a model makes your product unique? Is it you, or is it in your faith in your picks?
I think it's mainly my system that I've established and the consistency of how often we achieve our target goal and our success rate. Everything that we do is complete transparency. So every day that we post our picks for the next day, we also supplement with the results of all the picks from the day before. So nothing can be changed, manipulated. And based on that model alone, like Michael Jordan said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So we feel our numbers speak for themselves, and that's something with anybody who has a sense, even people who don't gamble can look at it and understand how it works and apply it to themselves to help them, benefit financially for their own aspirations.
Okay. And so the other thing I wanted to ask you about is if people or organizations wanted to sponsor your soccer league,
Yeah.
How could they go about doing that? Like, what is it that you'd like to say to them?
Well, what I would like to say is that besides the things I mentioned that separate us from all these other leagues, is especially the growth that we've had in the past few years is an example of and a testament of our ability to really fit in within any area of the city. We have teams who come from all different walks of life, all different parts of the city, and I find it really amazing and intriguing as a reflection of the diversity and the diaspora of Toronto. It's like literally, rather than traveling the world, you can meet people from around the world all in one city. So just like with my passion for football, part of the reason I have that passion is because football is something that breaks borders and unites people. People who don't even speak the same language can all get together and know how to play football. So I feel I've developed an atmosphere where it's a community-based project that people look forward to every week. And on top of it, our media coverage in terms of having something every week posted up in terms of highlights to keep people engaged. There's always revenues that people can generate through advertising on those models, and the different kind of outreach we do with our teams. Sometimes they have their own, one-off tournaments within their own diaspora. Like the Tibetans will have their own tournaments, or the Somalians will have their own tournaments, and I help with organizing that. So essentially, I'd say what separates me is my ability to connect people from all different kinds of walks of life and all different social realms, I would say. And people seem to, congregate towards me and kind of gravitate towards me in a sense of they feel that I know what I'm doing and that I'm always on top of whatever projects I'm working on.
So this is our first formal interview after much brainstorming. It's going to be the basis for a documentary on not only you as the throughway, the soccer whisperer, but also your endeavors, which you've just described. Who do you want the audience to be for this documentary?
I would say anybody who wants to see a story of somebody who is able to always persevere no matter what, who dedicated themselves to their craft and really applied the Malcolm Gladwell model of 10,000 hours or 10 years to master any skill. Like I said, I put over 20 years of research and analytics into what I do with my betting business. And in terms of with my soccer leagues, I've pretty much been involved in Toronto soccer from the moment I came to this country. I've coached at York University, I've assisted coaches at Ryerson University, I've known players that have gone on to play on professional teams in Europe and have played on national teams in Europe. So I feel like soccer is embedded in me, and that's something that will always be able to allow me to break borders and sow division, or not sow division, but bring in unity amongst people in my community.
Excellent, man. Well, thank you very much. I look forward to collaborating on this documentary, and I introduce you to the soccer whisperer, Chris North. Cheers, man.
Thanks.